जानते हो?
Oh, very much. बहनचोद भी बोल सकते हैं.
तो शुरुआत वहीं से करते हैं.
Hello. It's your poker guy, and I'm back with another podcast. It's with a cash beast, Mayank Jain, who's been playing poker professionally now for the last 8 years, full time. If I'm wrong, please correct me. And मुझे याद है, he's also a coach. And उन्होंने एक अपनी maths for poker का एक निकाला था, एक PDF था, which I remember. And I remember downloading it and using it. And so really happy. I did not that time think कि अपन podcast करने वाले. This was about a year and a half ago, at least a year ago, at least. So thank you so much, Mayank, for taking time out. And again, very nice person. He got on readily for a call with me and agreed for the podcast. And super happy to have you, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, man. Thank you for inviting me. I didn't foresee this happening. Like, I just one day I was watching your stream and it was so much fun. So I just commented. I don't usually watch poker streams because I find them boring. But because your banter was so much fun, so I was like laying on my bed at night, phone aise haath mein pakad ke, I was just laughing my ass off. So, and I think that's how we connected again.
Right.
So yeah, I'm so happy to be here.
थैंक यू मैन. हम लोग जब स्किल्स नहीं होती तो हम लोग बैंटर करके काम चला लेते हैं.
बैंटर भी स्किल है ब्रो, बहुत बड़ा.
अच्छा, सही है यार भाई. कैसे हो? हाउ आर यू फीलिंग? हाउ इज एवरीथिंग गोइंग?
Yeah, I'm good. Today is a Sunday, थोड़ा chill day रहता है. I think for tournament grinder it's a big day, but for cash people it's just like a lazy day.
Perfect. And आप and I remember guys, मैं ये बोल देता हूँ कि when I was talking to him on the phone, Mayank told me कि नहीं यार भाई, मैं इसलिए 10-20 लाख 30 लाख वाले इवेंट्स खेलता नहीं हूँ. मैं 2 करोड़ 4 करोड़ 5 करोड़ वाले खेलता हूँ तो मजा ज्यादा आता है. So इससे आप अंदाजा लगा सकते हो कि ये किस लेवल की कॉन्वर्सेशन होगी. And before we take it forward, I want to quickly know, Mayank, not quickly, nicely dive into your journey. Actually, कैसे आप कहाँ से हो, and how did poker happen, and everything. If you can just take us through that, and I'll just interrupt you in the middle for questions.
Yeah, no problem. So I'll start from the beginning. Like, I was born in Alwar, Rajasthan. Uske baad se we traveled a bunch of places. Indore. Then my dad was in Goa. I stayed in Indore. Then I went to Kota to study for entrance exam for IIT.
IIT.
Yeah,
of course.
Then I went to IIT Roorkee, did my mechanical engineering from there for 4 years. And then my first job was not in mechanical companies at all.
वो ऐसा ही होता है. आप जो पढ़ते हो वहां कभी जाते नहीं, वो कभी उसमें लगते नहीं हो. हाँ.
Yes, तो मेरा जॉब था JP Morgan Chase में, बॉम्बे. I was coding. काफी फन था. I enjoyed coding. But and I was a music fan for the longest time. तो around like 1.5 years into my first job, थोड़ा मेरे को किक आया है कि यार कुछ स्टार्टअप चालू करना है. This was in I think 2011, back when startup was like everybody was doing a startup. That was not the case back then. So you might know because I think you also started up.
Yeah, I started in 2015 after looking at their entire Flipkart and वो सब food apps का boom देख के.
Correct. So yeah, so I started up a company called musicfellas.com, digital indie music startup था. So after 2 years of my job, I quit my job. Ran the startup for a couple of years. थोड़ा बहुत funding मिला. Then we got acquired, or it's a fancy word for acqui-hire, by Ghana.com, Times Internet company. तो वहाँ पे I stayed there for some time as part of the deal. उसके बाद में I switched to another company called BSB Portal, which was like a joint venture between Bharti Airtel and SoftBank Japan. तो वहाँ पे भी थोड़ा product manager type का काम था मेरा. But उसके बाद
13-14 है, 14-15.
Yeah, 14-15 types.
And poker का introduction नहीं हुआ लाइफ में?
पोकर का यार कॉलेज में खेलते थे. They were like कॉलेज में for fun with using matchsticks as chips, you know.
Okay.
वो खेलते थे. And,
okay, nice.
Yeah, then there were a couple of guys in our college who had sort of turned pro. I wouldn't say they all, like उस समय online poker इतना scene था नहीं. So they were playing underground games and home games kind of stuff. And so we saw, okay, these guys are doing this. They didn't sit for placements. So we were like, oh man, I mean, this guy didn't sit for placements, which used to be a big deal, right?
Correct.
वरना fourth year में सब लोग तो fight मार रहे होते हैं, job लग जाए.
Correct.
So, but yeah, थोड़ा बहुत खेलते थे. कभी गोवा चले गए दोस्तों के साथ तो कैसीनो में खेल लिया. But that was about it. And then
fun के लिए खेल रहे हो आप, साइड पे खेलते जा रहे हो.
fun के लिए खेल रहा हूँ. फिर इसके बाद में when like I was in my third job, or basically second job after the startup, I realized कि यार I want to be more in control of my time and schedule. So a job couldn't give me that. So I used to go to cafes with my notebook and pen and list down top 10 ideas of what I'm good at, what I can do. Travel influencer. Before influencer was a thing, you know, travel blogging. I used to write quite a lot. So that was one more thing, writing.
And
And
this
then
is in Mumbai. ये मुंबई में कर रहे हो
yes,
आप?
yes,
मुंबई
yes,
में कर
yes.
रहे हो, हाँ हाँ.
मुंबई के सीसीडीज में जा जाके
अरे वाह, क्या बात है.
सीसीडीज एंड ब्रू वर्ल्ड कैफे होते थे वहाँ पे अच्छे अच्छे.
हाँ.
तो या सो दैट वाज देन एंड देन आई रियलाइज कि पोकर भी ट्राई कर सकते हैं. तो पोकर खेलना चालू किया एंड देन बैक देन लाइक अ फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन स्टेक्ड मी एंड स्टेक्ड मी फॉर लाइक 10K और 20K. So it was not a big amount, but it was just like symbolic of like his support to me. तो
एक
थोड़ा बहुत
स्टार्ट है,
खेला
एक
मैं.
स्टार्ट
Yeah.
मिलती है. या
So this
सीड
was in
फंडिंग.
like I quit my job in December 2015. So January 2016 से पोकर चालू किया. मतलब पहले खेल ही रहा था, but seriously 16 से चालू किया. 3-4 महीने शुरू में देखा कैसा लग रहा है. Among other things, I was trying other things also. Like I wrote a book उसके पहले on my startup experience. So
एंड ये
when
जो
I
आप खेल रहे हो, ऑनलाइन खेल रहे हो, ऑफलाइन खेल
yes
रहे हो?
yes yes online
ये
mostly.
ऑनलाइन चालू कर दिया था आपने?
Yes yes
ओके.
2-5-5-10 blinds पे like 500 buy in उस type
Oh,
का.
okay, 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 nice. So you did start small.
Yes yes
Yeah,
yes yes.
yeah.
तो ये किया मैंने एंड देन लाइक आई वाज डिस्कसिंग विद माय वाइफ कि यार क्या करें. लाइक उस समय ऑब्वियसली शुरू में इतना पैसा नहीं बनता है तो मैं पोकर में, बट आई वाज सीइंग ग्रीन शूट्स. यू नो अ फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन सेड कि स्टार्ट व्हाटएवर, इफ यू सी ग्रीन शूट्स वाटर इट. सो आई कंटिन्यूड डूइंग दैट. Then my wife also quit her job and then we decided there was nothing holding us. So by that time I had moved to Delhi.
अच्छा, बढ़िया.
Yeah, so I was like, there's nothing holding us back in Delhi or Gurgaon, NCR region basically. So we both moved to Goa in like late 2016. तो 2 साल वहाँ पे रहे and
तो आपने एक साल के अंदर ये सब स्टेप्स ऑलरेडी ले चुके हो?
yeah,
क्या
less
आप
than a
अभी
year
तक?
actually.
हाँ, या you just started Jan 2016 and so like you said 2-5-5-10 पे I don't know the money that you're making also अभी से start and अभी तक आपने पढ़ाई भी कुछ नहीं किया, right? पोकर की कुछ
हाँ
पढ़ाई?
मतलब उस समय इस ऑफिस वगैरह तो होते नहीं थे, जीटीए
करेक्ट,
ऑफिस
करेक्ट,
वगैरह. आई यूज्ड टू डू पेन एंड पेपर लाइक कॉम्बो काउंटिंग वगैरह पेन एंड पेपर पे करता था मैं.
करते थे, लेकिन आप करते थे वो?
यस यस यस.
ओके.
एक्सक्यूज मी. तो या मूव हुए गोवा में क्योंकि वन ऑफ द रीजंस वाज कि गोवा थोड़ा सस्ता भी था उस टाइम पे
करेक्ट.
एंड वी हैड सम सेविंग्स. तो उससे काम चल गया एंड बहुत कम खर्चा होता था महीने का यार. सो इट वाज फन एंड बस या दैट्स हाउ इट स्टार्टेड एंड सिंस देन आई हैव बीन प्लेइंग.
Perfect. So we'll come till where you reached, and you know, so you
हाँ.
all shifted 2 years go up, shift हुए 2016 December से लेके I think 2 years तक shift
Yes
हुए आप.
yes yes yes.
Nice. So and how long had you been married by then?
I was not married then. I was just living in with my girlfriend
Oh,
and
okay,
now
okay.
wife. Yeah.
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
So we had been living in together Gurgaon में. उसके बाद में गोवा हम शिफ्ट हुए. So
अच्छा.
1 year into living in Goa, we got married.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So Goa has good memories for you for sure.
Yeah, dude, गोवा तो बहुत ही फन जगह है. And
तो
we had
अभी
a
आप
nice
कहाँ हो?
house. अभी
अभी
मैं
आप कहाँ
बैंगलोर
हो?
में हूँ.
अभी बैंगलोर में हो. अच्छा. So back to the startup hub. So we'll discuss that.
Yes.
So आपने जो बताया इंट्रोडक्शन उसमें से मैंने अलवर सुना एंड
Yes.
मैंने देखा है कि काफी जो राहुल आई मीन housing.com के फाउंडर जो है आई फॉरगॉट हिज नेम सरनेम व्हाट इज
Yeah,
द नेम
Rahul Gupta or Sharma
no
or
no
Jain,
not
one
no,
of
no,
these.
no no not Jain not Sharma not Gupta yeah I remember but I forgot
और कौन सा बनिए बच्चे?
yeah Bansals but
बंसल से.
so interesting. तो अलवर से जो आ रहे हैं उनके अंदर ये बिजनेस का एक कीड़ा या माइंडसेट थोड़ा रह जाता है. प्लस आपने आईआईटी भी कर दी सो ऑलरेडी, प्लस आपने एक स्टार्टअप चला भी लिया है एंड देन यू काइंड ऑफ यू हैड सोल्ड इट ओवर टू समवन. सो ऑल दिस हैपेंड. तो माइंडसेट क्या था कि लाइक वापस एक और बिजनेस तभी चालू करने का? यू वर पेनिंग डाउन आइडियाज बट पोकर की तरफ जाने का क्या था? ग्रीन शूट्स आपने कहा बट ऐसा नहीं था कि बड़ी चीज millions of dollars of funding and all those things which you because you've tasted the startup blood, you know.
Yes, yes.
तो कैसा था वो माइंड में? कैसे वो क्या था?
यार somehow ना जब I was starting up तब मेरा ambition यही था कि billionaire बनना है, you know.
Correct.
बहुत पैसा कमाना है. But by the time startup ended and then some life changes happened, I read a lot. तो मैं बहुत किताबें पढ़ता हूँ. थोड़ा perspective change हुआ life का.
Sure.
तो मैं थोड़ा उस मोड में चला गया कि I don't want to like work towards a goal in the future. I want to make every day that I'm living the best possible day it can be.
Wow.
और startup करते हो तो थोड़ा ज़्यादा मेहनत होता है. Like I was kind of burnt out after my startup. ऑफिस में सोना, छोटी like stalls पे खाना. You would know all this.
Go
right?
all out, yeah. Go all.
तो
Right.
like I used to owe money to my friends. तो वो सब मेरे को नहीं पढ़ना था वापस से उस
Sure.
situation में. And like I was paying my employees after like borrowing money from someone else and my parents. So I was like, ये सब नहीं करना for some time until I build a bankroll again. So that's why I was like, poker कर सकते हैं because इसमें I don't have responsibility for someone else's livelihood.
Sure.
I'm just responsible for myself, and it was like schedule और मैं अपना time काफी manage कर सकता हूँ. तो I was very interested in that aspect. उस समय digital nomad का फंडा आया ही था, like you know, Tim Ferriss की 4 hour work week release हुई थी. So I was very influenced by that kind of stuff. So that's why I was like कि इस type का कुछ काम करते हैं where I can like work few hours a day and still reap some rewards instead of working like 16 hours a day and wait for a reward 6 years into the future.
Perfect. Got it. From this, I have one question. One, I want to talk about family, and one I want to talk is the piece where did you ever feel that with poker मैं किसी और के पैसे लूंगा? Did that question ever come to your mind? वो stage पे did that ever happen?
Yeah, I mean, वो मेरे हमेशा से conflict रहा है. If you ask my poker friends, they will know that I've always been conflicted with my relationship with poker.
I always, I mean, I'm at the same stage, you know, because I also promote the game in some manner, and I always have this. और आप पता होगा जैन में साधुस होते हैं जिनको आप जाके पूछ सकते हो. So I had reached this stage. I think this is about 6-8 months ago. Where I was like, okay, because तभी गाड़ी ने पकड़ लिया था, you know. Now I could see that people were making moves of what I was suggesting. तो मैंने बोला कि should I just go talk to someone like openly saying कि मैं कर रहा हूँ, मुझे करना चाहिए, नहीं करना चाहिए. So since that day, but now it doesn't bother me anymore. So I want to ask you कि आपका कैसा story था इस पे?
यार मेरे को भी लगता था ऐसा on and off, but then I realized कि it's a game where the tools to get better are available for everyone, right? Even if you don't have money, there are free resources and you can get better. So eventually it comes down to your own self rather than you're beating others. So this is another thing I think जो मेरा mindset change हुआ poker में, how and what led me to improve in this game very much was I forgot about it being a game of cards played with other people. I think it's just a game of cards played with yourself.
Wow.
Like I'm not trying to beat the other person. It's just an outcome that happens via the process of improving myself.
Sure.
So I think it's a very good tool for self-improvement. And if I look at it from that lens, then I'm sort of at peace with it. But I'm not denying that I still have conflicts when you hear stories ki, you know, itne log debt mein hai. But then it's like I'm also of the believer of extreme ownership, right? Life mein problems har bande ki hoti hai, right? So you just have to deal with it yourself, extreme ownership. So if you can't deal with your problems, doesn't mean somebody else has to support you. We'll be there for you, for example, but eventually you have to do it on your own because life mein sabke kuch na kuch fuck ups hote hain. Something else, everybody has some baggage which is dragging them down. So if you are able to rise above that, so it's credit to you.
Nice. I had asked another person the same question and they had answered the same thing, you know, that eventually मतलब एक responsibility आपकी भी है खुद की तरफ और to the way if you are the one who's going out and playing outside bankroll and finishing putting yourself in a spot and your family in a spot, you need to get up again and you need to solve that piece and not get into that piece. Like imagine like, yeah, if I have asked you to give someone 20,000 rupees as an investment, आप बहुत research करोगे, पूछोगे कि क्या है, कैसे करना है, क्या return देगा. और आप ये चीज पे अगर आप खुद ही करके लॉस कर रहे हो somewhere your ownership as well. So absolutely. Nice. Okay. Coming back to this question, how did everyone react, you know, because in terms of family and your partner at that moment, how did they kind of come about कि poker करना है, ऐसा आया था?
My partner is very chill, तो उसको कोई problem नहीं थी. She was just happy I've been spending more time with her at home.
Nice.
And हमारा थोड़ा sort of वही alternate lifestyle का concept था कि थोड़ा rat race में नहीं घुसना था.
Nice.
So that's why she also quit her job.
Is she also an IITian?
No, she's not. Yeah, she's I think she's an MBA.
Okay.
Or she's an HR. She used to be an HR, now is on a break.
Okay.
मेरे parents को थोड़ा problem था जब when I was starting up, तब भी उनको डर लगता था because you know अच्छा job छोड़ के JP Morgan multinational company छोड़ के तुम काम कर रहे हो. But when they saw the outcome was good, so they sort of gained confidence. उसके बाद poker बताया तो थोड़ा inhibition शुरू में हुआ उनको. But luckily उस time पे ना PSL चालू हो गया था. Just when I had moved to Goa, so I was the part of PSL season 1 and 2. So season 1 if I remember correctly, it was streamed on TV or one of, I think कुछ तो हुआ था scene, and they saw me on TV. तो life set हो गई. I was like,
Oh,
इससे
really?
ज़्यादा क्या? Yeah. I mean, if your parents see you on TV doing something that's your profession, तो काफी validation मिल गया उनको.
Sure.
And then I used to tell them कि भाई देखो Manisha Lamba खेलती है, and another celebrity, Anil Kapoor's son or whatever is playing, that kind of stuff. So they got some validation, and like they were afraid, but they were never like कि तुम ये मत करो, because I've always been kind of independent. I'm a single child, so that I guess comes from that. So yeah, that was never a problem.
Nice.
When I went to my wife's house,
Let's discuss that. That'll be fun.
तो वो उसके डैड भी थोड़े, वो लोग पहाड़ी हैं तो थोड़े चिल हैं वो लोग. They were just like कि हाँ ठीक ठाक कमा लेते हो. I'm like हाँ अंकल, मतलब बढ़िया हो जाता है काम. तो it was chill. And I think they also trusted their daughter कि उसने कोई decision लिया है तो सोच समझ के लिया होगा.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Wow, nice one, man. So you started off as a cash game player, 2.5, 5.10, and 2 साल Goa shift हुए.
Yeah.
Goa में, what was the story like in those 2 years? What happened? Where did you see yourself jumping? And were you very money inclined? वो time पे आप money inclined थे?
Yeah, when you don't have money, you are money inclined.
Perfect. Correct.
I mean, it's not like I was broke or anything, because I had savings. And but it's just that there was something in my mind that I have to build a bankroll. And so I was playing cash. I was playing MTTs also. I was doing everything.
Sure.
And I was just grinding all the time.
That was good 15, 18 hours? I mean, not 15, 18, but I mean, yeah,
but,
10-12 घंटे हो रहा था.
Not even that actually. मतलब मैं ठीक ठाक कर रहा था.
Okay.
Excuse me. The thing is कि I've always been very like chill kind of a guy. कि life को भी enjoy करना है. Not always looking forward to the future. मतलब सब कुछ delay नहीं करना. I believe in delaying gratification, but it's not like सब कुछ छोड़ छाड़ के तुम सिर्फ अभी काम ही कर रहे हो और कुछ नहीं कर रहे हो, ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हो. So I was mixing in both, and then PSL happened. तो PSL was a nice experience. उसके में थोड़ा मेरे को tournaments के बारे में सीखने को मिला. So immediately after that, I had some decent scores in tournaments. I was able to move up the stakes, and yeah, so I was just doing that for a couple of years. Then we moved to Bangalore, and I think for any cash game player, these big scores in tournaments are like a very good boost in their bankroll. और ये मैंने बहुत सारे लोगों की कहानी में सुना हुआ है कि तुम कैश खेलते खेलते ग्राइंड कर सकते हो. That's a way to move up, but you should also play some tournaments on the side कि
and get a huge jump.
Yeah, if you get lucky, you can afford to move up.
Sure, but then you don't start playing that higher stake, right? Because or else of वापस you're not ready to play. Like if I jump and straight away now I get a 20 lakh score or 50 lakh score tomorrow, and I start playing 100, 250, 500. I don't think so I'll survive because I'll be crushed.
So you won't play on those stakes, right? You won't jump like 2-3 stakes. You'll just jump the next one.
Okay.
And your shot taking also becomes easier. So right now, for example, if you are a 5-10 player and you want to take a shot take at 10-20, your success in your poker career also depends on how good you're running at the highest stake. Because ऐसा हो सकता है तुमने highest stake पे जाके तुम बहुत बुरा downswing आ रहा है.
Correct.
You're doing everything right, but you're running bad. Then to recover from that, it's going to take much longer. So
Correct.
People don't understand or underestimate this aspect that a lot of success in cash games is also down to luck. I mean, MTDs में तो होता ही है, but cash में भी you should get lucky at the right time. Like for me, in my career also, there have been times where I've jumped stakes immediately and cut, say within like a month, I've been playing regularly, and कई बार 4 महीने लग गए because highest stakes पे I ran so bad.
So you need to run good also once you आप जब short take करो या jump करो next take पे, you want to run good so that you don't have to come back down.
Yes.
Yeah. It gives a boost to your this thing. And also I think a confidence level आ जाता है, right? At a stake, then you're like, okay, this stake I think I'll manage now. I feel something around that. Fair enough. So that's the thing. And 2 years of poker happened. How do you see how has poker like impacted life? Like how do you today when you see what is this thing? Because now you're 8 years into it. How has poker impacted life?
Yeah, life बहुत सही कर दिया पोकर ने, honestly.
Really? अच्छा, nice.
मैं हमेशा से जैसे बताया कि टाइम एंड शेड्यूल का मेरे को इंडिपेंडेंस चाहिए था एंड कंट्रोल चाहिए था. So that I have a lot of, and that's why I moved completely away from MTTs because मेरे को वो grind नहीं करना था रोज का 8 घंटे का, and you're sleeping at odd hours. And I think that's also a function of as I'm getting older, मेरे को वो लेट नाइट्स नहीं जमता है बिकॉज देन यू वेक अप लेट एंड
नेक्स्ट डे पूरा खराब होता है.
हाँ यू डोंट गेट अर्ली सन. आई एम श्योर लाइक जब तुम वो शेड्यूल में आ जाते हो तुम कर सकते हो रोज 12 बजे दोपहर में उठ के यू कैन जस्ट ग्राइंड बट दैट्स नॉट फॉर मी.
Correct.
एंड so yeah, that's why I'm playing cash. I can play whenever, and I get to spend a lot of time with my wife at home, with my friends, and I like to do a lot of things apart from poker, like playing snooker, or going to the gym, कोई sport खेलना है या फिर writing, reading. You know, basically ये सारी काफी सारी hobbies है मेरी, तो उसका करने में मेरे को time मिल जाता है.
So, ये काफी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज आपने बोली बिकॉज मैं काफी लोगों का सुनता हूँ कि हम लोग और कुछ करने का मन नहीं लगता, पोकर ही खेलना है, लाइक यू नो दे एंड दैट्स आई थिंक दैट आल्सो इज अ बिग बिग बैरियर एंड देन दैट दोस पीपल व्हेन आई मीट मैं भी उनको ये बोलता हूँ कि यार लाइफ पोकर सेपरेट चीज है, लाइफ इज बिगर देन पोकर यू नो एंड दैट आई थिंक हैज बीन अ थिंग. सो हाउ इंपॉर्टेंट इज दिस, ये जो आपने हॉबीज का रखा है, बिकॉज और एल्स क्या है कि इफ यू आर एट होम ओनली नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग it's very easy to put up a table and start playing again, you know, पूरे दिन आपको वो मन करता है. So how is that the reason why you shifted to Bangalore to build a life also beyond poker?
No, we shifted to Bangalore because my wife got a job here.
Okay.
So and plus lot of our friends were here, so we thought गोवा में हो गया है काफी time, तो बैंगलोर चलते हैं, थोड़ा वहाँ का फील लेते हैं. And as to your other question, I think it's personal choice. I wouldn't say कि it's mandatory to have a life outside poker to be successful in poker, because I know friends who are very successful in poker of both the varieties. That you know उनका जो बहुत ज्यादा भी grind करते हैं और जो कम भी grind करते हैं. So it's totally up to you. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. What are your poker goals now? Is that because I understand that you're not a very, from where you're coming right now, it's not that you want to like reach certain stake या पैसा ये आपका, I think इतना मुझे ऐसा नहीं लगा. It's about having a balanced life is what I've kind of understood. But what are your goals and what are your maybe life goals and poker goals? How do you like see that?
Yeah, life goals तो it's like कि I want पहाड़ों में एक घर हो, you know.
अभी बिलियनर नहीं बनना है, अभी बिलियनर
नहीं, बिलियनर नहीं बना because I mean there is no because. It's not like कि मेरा ambition नहीं है, अब उसको मैं क्या ही justify करूँ. But that's not what I want to get there.
You're not chasing that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, does that mean if somebody gives me like $1 billion tomorrow, I would reject it? No, of course not. But that's not what I'm aiming for. Sure. So I'm definitely aiming for more money. एक number है मेरे दिमाग में which I can get to so that I can lead a comfortable life and so that I don't have to work for a living. You know, I don't want to stop working, whatever that may be, poker or something else. But it shouldn't be like कि मेरे को यार next month के paycheck के लिए I have to worry about where the money is going to come from. तो उस स्टेज तक पहुंचना है एंड दैट्स द गोल इन लाइफ. एंड इन टर्म पोकर गोल्स मेरा ऐसा नहीं है कि इस स्टेक हायर स्टेक से पहुंचना है, बिकॉज देयर वाज अ टाइम इन 2020 ड्यूरिंग द कोविड ईयर मैंने ना साल का अपना फाइनेंशियल गोल बनाया कि इस साल मेरे को इतने पैसे कमाने हैं, एंड एट द एंड ऑफ द ईयर आई रीच्ड दैट गोल. एंड लॉफ्टी गोल था मेरा, बढ़िया मजा आया मेरे को. एंड देन
कैन वी नो द गोल और नो, आई मीन इफ यू डोंट लाइक लेट इट बी, इट्स ओके,
लेट इट बी. या सो it was much higher than what I had ever achieved.
And that was only via grinding is what you had kind of planned.
Yes. Actually, मेरे friend ने मेरे को बहुत motivate किया था एक बार कि भाई grind कर, because I had always been like कि कम grind करता था मैं, तो
even now you don't, even now you don't. So
now I'm putting in just quality volume, not like full grind mode.
Sure.
तो वो एक साल मैंने किया grind and then reached the results. But at the end of the year, I was like, I didn't feel like that kind of satisfaction. I was like, okay, ठीक है, now what next? Next year का नया गोल बनाते हैं कुछ, तो sort of ऐसा. So there is always this next goal that you're chasing. So 2021 I struggled a lot mentally.
Okay.
I was like कि यार ये क्या हुआ कि भाई अचीव तो कर लिया पर मजे नहीं आ रहे, लाइफ में खुशी नहीं हो रही. लाइक एक्स्ट्रा पैसे से एक पॉइंट के बाद तुम क्या ही कर लोगे, राइट? यूर लिविंग इन अ डिसेंट हाउस, उसके अलावा खाना पीना अच्छा खा रहे हो, उससे ज्यादा क्या चाहिए, सॉर्ट ऑफ, राइट?
एब्सोल्युटली.
या जस्ट चेजिंग द नेक्स्ट
गाड़ी ले ली, नेक्स्ट वेकेशन ले ली, नेक्स्ट ये कर दिया, वो कर दिया, वही है खाली.
Yep. So yeah, 2021 I spent a lot of time just reading, just getting my mindset straight. पोकर भी बहुत कम खेला कि भाई हो क्या रहा है लाइफ में, चल क्या रहा है, व्हाट इज दिस अनसैटिस्फैक्शन दैट आई एम फीलिंग.
व्हाट वाज द आंसर टू दैट? क्या था?
The answer is यार जैसे जो लोग बोलते हैं कि it's just all inside you only. I mean it's very sounds very mumbo jumbo, but यही है, there is nothing outside that can give you happiness or satisfaction. So it's just being at peace with the current moment. And like I read this book जो मेरे को बहुत help किया, Eckhart Tolle की The Power of Now.
Hey,
So
I was just buying a book on
हाँ,
these self-help books for my wife. I did not buy Power of Now. मैंने 5 books दूसरी खरीदी. Don't
अच्छा,
believe everything you think and blah blah blah. But Power of Now was about to pick. मैंने नहीं pick किया. But
अरे
अच्छा,
मैं गिफ्ट कर दूंगा ब्रो, मैं बहुत
अच्छा,
लोगों को गिफ्ट किया हुआ है पावर ऑफ नाउ.
अच्छा. It's that important. That it's that good a book.
Yeah, I love it. And it's quite simple concept, but very powerful. So that was that.
Nice. So 22, 21 was where you kind of felt that you kind of had after a good 2020.
Yeah, I was just wondering ki kya hua. It was not like ki, I was losing. My win rate was still good, but I was just not putting in that much volume.
Sure.
फिर finally थोड़ा clear हुआ mind, chill out हुआ. Then I hired a mindset coach also. उसने भी थोड़ा मेरे को suggest किया. And I was having these conflicts with poker कि भाई खेलूं नहीं खेलूं, कुछ और करना है. Then 2022 I was like कि चलो try करते हैं फिर से poker. And तो yeah, 2022 was good.
Nice. Awesome. When we come to this, let's talk about a little bit about, because आपने mindset लाया तो downswings one, and second is what do you do for your mindset even today, or is it right now? Because I just want to understand and establish कि money is of course crucial, right, to you
Yes.
as well, because ऐसा
Yes.
नहीं है कि आप ऐसे ही खेल रहे हो तो क्या, नहीं तो फिर फर्क नहीं पड़ता. अरे
हाँ.
चलो ठीक है, अभी 10 पॉइंट डाउन हो गए, 20 पॉइंट डाउन हो गए, फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा. So that is of course very important because you're not deviating, but it's not you're chasing that only money. That's the only thing we've understood. So downswings and mindset के लिए क्या किया है आपने, and what has been like a bad downswing experience that you've got?
Yeah, जब डांसिंग आते थे शुरू में भी, और like even almost like 3-4 years into it, you always question yourself. There was a post by Ben CB, अभी उसने डाला था Instagram पे. वो तो बहुत ही recognized player, right? वो भी
Sure.
उसने भी लिखा था कि you question, are you even good enough? वो सारे imposter syndrome आ जाता है. So that keeps on happening. You always have doubts in every, not every downswing, but yeah, quite often.
Sure.
And so what I did for that was थोड़ा मेडिटेशन वगैरह चालू किया, प्रैक्टिस, माइंडसेट कोच हायर किया, रेड अ लॉट. आई शुड गो फॉर वॉक्स, आई लाइक वॉकिंग, तो वॉक्स वगैरह करता था. एंड देन अनदर थिंग आई स्टार्टेड डूइंग वाज लाइक measured the quality of my day, not in terms of the results or how productive I have been, but by the state of my mindset.
Okay. How do you measure that?
It's just like you feel like at the end of the day, are you like, how's your breath? Are you calm? Are you able to sleep without revisiting all the hands that you played badly?
Got it.
So yeah, and I read a lot. तो बहुत सारी किताबें अलग अलग टाइप की. I think Power of Now was just one, but different other kinds also. Yeah.
Got it. So I think that overall kind of adds to your mindset piece कि आप जिसके कारण you.
Yeah, and another thing was that I started working out quite regularly. तो वो
उसका
बहुत ही
impact क्या दिखा, क्या है उसका impact क्या था? Why does that impact mindset, and downswing के time better क्यों रहता है उससे?
बायोलॉजिकली तो तुम्हें पता ही है, योर इफ यू वर्कआउट रिलीजेस एंडोर्फिन्स.
या
ठीक है. एंड देन इफ यू लिफ्ट वेट्स, सो इट्स लाइक तुम्हारी बॉडी में मसल्स में उधर ही इस एरिया में, आई डोंट नो द एग्जैक्ट साइंस, बट मैं एक देखा था वीडियो, उसमें बता रहे थे कि इट्स काइंड ऑफ हैप्पीनेस मॉलिक्यूल सॉर्ट ऑफ रिलीज होता है व्हेन यू आर लिफ्टिंग वेट्स. सो आई डिड दैट एंड it just naturally kind of happened. And then I guess even during downswing, if you do that, you kind of feel a sense of accomplishment, right? Ki there is a challenge that you undertook. Let's say you're trying to lift heavier in your this day than yesterday. So once you're able to do that, you kind of feel an achievement. तो सही लगता है, तो ये balance हो जाता है. And then you don't feel like कि यार poker खराब हो गया तो your life is over, because there are so many other things that are helping you. Correct. Life in progress तो हो ही रहा है.
Right. So again, that comes up to that question कि आप extra चीजें कर रहे हो and you're excelling in other things, so it pushes your poker performance as well.
Yes.
But yeah, okay. Coming to cash games, and because you're a full-time cash games player, how do you rate yourself? आप कैसे rate करो खुद को?
Tough to say, man.
I know there's no comparison network here, but still, how do you feel overall? I know every month it might feel different, but still, how do you feel about yourself overall?
I feel like I'm decent. I'm above decent, I would say, and I'm pretty good actually at some aspects. इंडिया में यार प्लेयर पूल इतना वेरीड है.
So मैं उसकी तरफ ही बढ़ रहा था कि आप इंडिया के प्राइस प्लेयर पूल के साथ कैसे लगता है, क्या लगता है?
Yeah, there are some players who are better than me for sure.
Sure.
And there are some players who are worse than me. I think there are some aspects where I'm better at other people.
What would that be?
Let's say mindset तो चलो बोलना कि बहुत ही broad term हो गया, but in game mindset and adjusting to what other people perceive me to be.
Okay.
Us kind of thoda meta game sort of, I would say. And theory wise, I think everybody pretty much knows, but obviously there are some regs who are making obvious errors. So I think I don't make those kind of obvious errors, those blunders. I mean, blunders kabhi kabhi tum kharab mode mein kar sakte ho, but I think I don't tilt that much anymore.
Got it.
Yeah. So
which I think is a big firstly, I think it's a very important piece, right? If you don't tilt and lose money at that moment, I think that is crucial.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I would make a slight mistake here and there, but not like a blunder. So जैसे mental game of poker में एक जो model है Inchworm model, I don't know if you know.
No, I don't.
So Inchworm कैसे move करता है? Like it drags its body forward and pulls it from behind, right? So if you consider it like a bell curve, तो अगर आप जो इसका forward portion है body का, उसको consider करो A game and पीछे वाला is C game.
Okay.
So the way to improve in poker is obviously to move your A game forward, but also to pull your C game ahead. So your new C game is less worse than your previous C game.
Fair enough. Correct. So even so जो पहले tilt करते थे वो भी आप कम करते हो, जो आप ये करो, so you're kind of constantly improving your C games as well.
Yeah. Like my tilted game is not as bad as it used
your
to be
previous
earlier.
tilted game.
Yes,
Correct.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Very nice. So from this, I would come to your coaching piece. So coaching established कैसे हुआ? Because Mayank Jen also does coaching of cash games, right?
Yes.
तो ये कहाँ से आया? How do you go about it? How do you charge? And was it started as a separate, just to build up a side source of income, ताकि it's a more fixed source? या फिर it was started out of के friends बोल रहे थे पढ़ा? How did it happen?
It was a combination of wanting to talk to more people and helping others, and obviously a source of income.
Sure.
Because it was time तो रहता था. Like I told you कि मैं बहुत ज़्यादा I don't grind like 8 hours a day. So I had time. So I was like, might as well use it in some way. And it started with I didn't want to create a business.
अच्छा हाँ, perfect. अच्छा.
I was like कि 2-4 लोग हैं अगर आके सीखना चाह रहे हैं तो that's perfect, because I know there are some businesses who like stables हैं proper. I was just like मेरे को उस organization में उस logistics में नहीं घुसना है, because you know I've heard so many stories of कि मान लो किसी को तुम stake कर रहे हो and then they run away with the money, that kind of stuff, और या profit share equal नहीं करेंगे, वो सब जो भी चीजें होती हैं, because India में to let's say even if you have a contract with someone, to actually enforce it is very difficult. Correct. So I was like मेरे को उस लफड़े में नहीं पढ़ना है. So I just put up a website, like मेरी website थी काफी टाइम से जिस पे I was writing about all kind of things, travel, life, poker. So उसमें मैंने एक पेज बना दिया poker coaching के लिए, and I put up कि भाई मैं ये charge करता हूँ, and if you want to maybe take a trial session. So I offer 2 varieties: hourly sessions, and then you can buy a package or take 1 hour sessions, and I offer a CFP also, but that is for like selected people who I feel like I can trust. जिनके पीछे मुझे पैसे के लिए भागना नहीं पड़ेगा. So like I for my students I never ask them to show me their screenshots of winnings and all. They tell me कि this is the amount we won, this is your share, I just accept it because I don't want to get into that mess. Correct. Right. He's not doing it. So ये ऐसे plan किया. This happened during COVID कि उसके बाद? No, this happened like last year I think. अच्छा, last year ही किया. Okay. उसके साथ plan कर रहा था. He is also high stakes reg, but then I think he lost interest in doing it, and so I just thought I'll just do it on my own. So, fair enough. How has it been? How's the coaching experience been? It's been good. I'm getting target क्या है? Which is the target audience? Yeah, I'm getting all kinds of people. So usually जो early sessions वाली जनता होती है वो लोग होते हैं कि recreational players, let's say they play at home with their friends or they play online sometimes. They want to get better at the game. So, and they come from like every level. There are some people who just know the basics of the game. Achha. And so I have to tell them every particular spot की ranges ही होती है, यहाँ पे ये हो रहा है. So, and there are some people who have been playing regularly quite for few years. So हर तरह के होते हैं. And जो CFP होता है वो तो they are just like regs, or they want to make this a profession, and that's their only job. Got it. Nice. So, and ऐसा कुछ curriculum है that it goes on for so long कि ऐसा कुछ कि is it like you just keep teaching, every hour is an important hour? Yeah, like there is no curriculum in the sense like I have my course structure that I teach them, but I've not made like a course or recorded videos. So every session is customized, like I plan ahead or discuss with them. And usually I'm also available on WhatsApp and all. Like I want to keep be engaged in their progress. So it's
Sure.
not like एक बार 1 घंटा पढ़ा दिया and फिर अगले हफ्ते मिलेंगे. It's not like that.
Got it. And how much do you charge? How do you charge for the same?
So 1 hour session, it's 10K. If
Okay.
you take a 5 session package, 45K. And then if you take a 10 session package, it's 80K.
And uska impact in like a 5 sessions, you see that impact. A player would walk out with a massive impact. Like agar koi
yeah, I mean, like I've heard people telling me that it's really helped them a lot. And वो पता चल जाता है उसी session में ही, like कि अच्छा okay दिख रहा है उनको, like they are learning some really crazy stuff, or at least to them. Some things might come obvious to me, but for them it's
absolutely, I can imagine. Right.
So
yeah, uska wo importance hai na, wohi hai, because I remember for me also to spend for coaching for 1.5 years, I never did it, and then I eventually took some MTT coaching, and but जो बोलते रहते हैं कि game of skill, but जब आप कुछ पढ़ने बैठते हो तो आप समझते हो कि अच्छा ये भी सोचना था, ऐसे करना था, ये चीजें थी, which adds a lot of impact. So absolutely.
Yeah, actually like मैंने लाइफ में कभी हार्डली आई टुक पोकर कोचिंग एक कोच से. आई मीन वेबसाइट वगैरह ज्वाइन किए हैं, रन एडवांस सॉफ्टवेयर खरीदे हैं. देयर वाज जस्ट वन टाइम आई टुक 1 hour सेशन विद सम एमटीटी कोच, बट एंड उससे मेरे को काफी फायदा हुआ. बट इफ हाइंडसाइट, इफ आई वर टू चेंज माय जर्नी, आई वुड से कि I should have taken a coach much earlier and for longer duration. Because I feel like it just fast tracks your progress so much. मैं वो DIY टाइप का बंदा हूँ, तो इस चक्कर में मैं सब कुछ अपने आप कर रहा था. But having a coach would have definitely
that's one expense which is an investment. To do it early is better. It's like your life insurance or term insurance. जल्दी ले लो जब start करते हो. I mean mediclaim. सही है. Tell me this thing यार, कैश गेम्स में ना जो मैं ओवरऑल रिव्यू देता हूँ, बिकॉज ग्लोरी है टूर्नामेंट्स में, प्लस एक साथ बड़ा पैसा है, राइट? मेरे व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में वेयर वी गॉट अ लॉट ऑफ रिक्रिएशनल्स, समवन स्कोर्ड 78,000 yesterday, which is his highest ever poker score. So the excitement is really different for them, right? For everyone. And cash games में ऐसा नहीं है, right? You grind and you will end up plus minus keeps on happening. So eventually people kind of, I've seen the lower stakes and the recreationals are not very happy with cash games. यार इसमें तो कुछ नहीं होता है मतलब. So what is your take on that piece? And if and how would you, like 5 or 10 principles of cash games which you would say that okay, you get this going, man, like सबसे पहले ये basic 5 चीजें करो, अगर आप ऐसा कुछ बता सको, for people who are playing like 5-10, 2-5, 5-10. Okay. Maybe 10-20 also. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll answer the second question pehle. Ki top 5 things I would say. First is make sure your pre-flop ranges are correct.
Correct.
Yeah. And that's the easiest way to improve in poker, honestly.
Got it. इसको थोड़ा break down करो. Pre-flop ranges correct है मतलब कितनी, every blinds पे या 100 blinds पे ही खाली, और कैसे?
100 blinds पे कर लो. Usually 100 blinds की available होता है. And if you are doing that, you are like way ahead of everyone else, because even the regs these days sometimes are making mistakes.
Okay. Yeah. और ये कहाँ से करना है इनको?
यार बहुत सारी वेबसाइट्स अवेलेबल हैं. You could just look up pre-flop ranges poker cash games, and अलग-अलग साइट्स पे अलग-अलग चार्जेस पे तुम्हें मिल जाएगा.
Sure.
Usually I give them, like अगर मेरे साथ कोई स्टूडेंट होता है तो मैं दे देता हूँ उनको जो मेरी रेंजेस हैं. And second, I would say is do lot of work on your own, and you don't even need an expensive software. So like I started doing it on pen and paper, and अभी भी अगर आप pen and paper पे करना चाहो तो कर सकते हो. Let's say like you're facing a flop c-bet or turn c-bet, right? Flop के बाद में, and then you have a certain range, and then you see कि उसने bet size क्या किया है, right? So based on that bet size, you have an MDF, like minimum difference frequency, right? So you अपने जो रेंज है उसमें से आप बस वो फिल्टर डाउन कर लो. लेट्स से योर MDF is 50%, तो आप टॉप 50% हैंड्स दे लो जो कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं. एंड यू विल सी पेपर पेन पे लिख के कि भाई ओके, दिस हैंड आई शुड कंटिन्यू, दिस हैंड आई शुड फोल्ड. व्हिच ब्रिंग्स मी टू थर्ड पॉइंट, व्हिच इज people usually in poker think in terms of hands.
Correct.
Cash games, but a better way to think of it is in terms of combos. क्योंकि like a lot of my students, they first make this problem कि बताओ ओपोनेंट की रेंज तुमने क्या रखी, तो उसको बोलता है कि किंग जैक हो सकता है, किंग 10 हो सकता है. मैं बोलता हूँ नो, टेल मी एग्जैक्ट कॉम्बो, क्योंकि व्हेन यू ब्रेक डाउन द कॉम्बोज, समटाइम्स द नंबर ऑफ कॉम्बोज बिकम वेरी लेस. लेट्स से द बोर्ड इज लेट्स से द बोर्ड इज किंग जैक. ओके, सो और हमने डिसाइड किया है कि उस प्री फ्लॉप में बंदे के पास किंग जैक ऑफ नहीं है फॉर वट एवर रीजन, लेट्स से ओपोनेंट के पास सिर्फ किंग जैक सूटेड है. सो इफ यू थिंक अबाउट किंग जैक पे किंग जैक सूटेड कितने ही कॉम्बोज बचे, 2 बचे. लेकिन अगर जैक भी वो ऑफ सूट है तो एक्चुअली सिर्फ एक कॉम्बो बचा.
Right. Okay, correct.
Right? Like it's a rainbow board, then there is just one combo of king jack suited. So is there, say, if you think in terms of combos,
Correct.
that's just like a better way. It gives you a clearer picture. And fourth thing I would say is कि when you're playing against short stacks, जो lower stakes पे बहुत होता है,
correct,
तो you should do a lot of work on equilab. तो equilab में अपना hand डालो,
ranges पूरा
opponent की range डालो कि ये इसने जान किया, calculate equity. ठीक है, let's say you open 8s, किसी ने 20 big blind जान किया है.
Correct.
And so what you do is you put his range, what you think his range is to be, some broadways, top O pairs, whatever.
Right.
And then you put your range, see कितना equity आ रहा है, and then you see कि कितना बड़ा jam था. Then तुम calculate करो, are you getting enough pot odds to call? So
if है कर दो,
ये है तो कर दो, and you keep playing around with this. You increase the jam size, you decrease the jam size, you widen the opponent's ranges, you change your own hand. So this interaction you need to keep doing off the table. टेबल पे बैठ के तो नहीं हो सकता.
Correct.
Excuse me. And fifth thing I would say is just play a lot of hands, man. Lower stakes पे just play a lot. And that's how it's going to be. And
आपके hands को आपको measure करना है, like use a hard and you want to keep a track of everything that's going on.
Oh yeah, of course. Like I thought कि लोग करते होंगे, but so I use drive hard. बहुत सही है. So use a tracker, because if you're not, you're just losing money, I guess. That's a great way to analyze your hands also. तो hard to use करना ही है.
Wow. तो ये जो आपने like 5 points बोले, I think all of these need work, you know, because now I don't think so लोग pre-flop ranges पे खेल रहे हैं, लोग उस पे खेल रहे हैं, ना कोई combos के बारे में सोच रहा है. So all of these points are like, I think विजडम के जो 5 पॉइंट्स है, इन लोग में अच्छी तरह से इट्स गोइंग टू बी वेरी यूजफुल, बिकॉज इसको सीखने में भी टाइम लगेगा. ऐसा नहीं है, लाइक इक्विलैब पे डालते रहना एवरी टाइम इन दैट स्पॉट एंड देन कीप लर्निंग प्री लाइक आउट, लाइक यू नो व्हेन यू आर नॉट प्लेइंग एंड देन अप्लाई इट इज गोइंग टू बी लाइक अ थिंग. इट्स नॉट दैट ये 5 मिनट सुन लिए कि चलो ये है तो अभी मैं खेलने लग जाऊंगा. दे हैव टू वर्क ऑन दिस पीस.
यस and like there are some people जिनको मान लो नहीं करना, ये सब नहीं सीखना, उनको सिर्फ फन के लिए खेलना, that's fine, right? Like if you're learning guitar, there are some people who like learning theory and then play. Some people just learn it by the ear. So both ways are fine as long as you're enjoying your time on the table, whether it's as a recreational or as a regular or as a professional, whatever floats your boat, man.
Nice.
Yeah, and I forgot your first question.
No worries. It's about the perception, like you know, where people come like MTDs give you a huge boost and cash games में थोड़ा up down बहुत होता है. How do you tackle that?
Yeah, MTDs में the amount of time you make money is about 25%, right? A good trade.
उससे भी कम ही होता है. हाँ, मतलब right.
तो अगर आप 1 in 4 times जीत रहे हो, 3 out of 4 times you're losing, how does it feel? It doesn't feel great. Like it is to me. I can't go to bed losing every like 3 days out of 4. So मेरे को नहीं जमता वो. And cash usually इतना सीन नहीं होता है. If you're a good player, you win more than half of your sessions.
Correct.
So that's pretty good. And जो losing sessions भी होते हैं वो भी कम होते हैं. मतलब कम in the sense the amount of loss you have is less if you're a good cash game player. So for sure glory है in tournaments. I can't deny that. I remember like जब मैं गोवा में MTD खेलता था, रात को लेट हो रहा था, and there was my Spartan पे उस समय में खेलता था. There was some big tournament and I was on the final table. And every time there was a pay jump, I used to go wake up my wife. मेरी wife सो रही थी दूसरे रूम में कि I won like 1 lakh हो गया, फिर थोड़ी देर बाद 1.5 लाख हो गया, 2 लाख हो गया, ऐसे. So that of course that feels nice, but I'm personally not chasing that feeling.
Yeah.
I prefer like regularly थोड़ा खर्चा पानी आता रहे. I'm happy with that. I'm not like I said, I'm not looking for a kick. I'm not looking for a dopamine rush.
Sure. You're not looking for that anymore. भी आपको थोड़ा stable की तरफ आप बढ़ रहे हो. Stable.
हाँ यार, I think थोड़ी वो भी है कि function of age honestly, and like having a family, then that kind of stuff.
Nice. So what are the leaks of people that you've seen, observed कि लोगों के ये leaks है, which is somewhere coming back to this only कि pre-flop ranges उनके weak है, but और क्या होगा जो आपको लग रहा है common leaks लोगों के होते हैं cash games में?
I mean it's derived from यही जो 5 points मैंने बोले, वही कि ranges follow नहीं करते, secondly combos के बारे में नहीं सोचते, like if you, and they're not disciplined. Like if you know, let's say you're in the small blind and somebody is on the button. You open button and somebody three bets you in the small blind. Okay, you have a hand that you're not supposed to call, you fold. Second orbit आया, उसमें भी यही हुआ, you fold again. Third orbit आया, having the discipline to fold again when you don't have a hand that is in your calling range. That I think people don't have the discipline to do that. So I guess the leak is having ego. So ego is a very bad thing in poker. Ego is the enemy, and you keep learning that the hard way also. Like sometimes you get into reg battle. Almost regularly होता है मेरे साथ भी, हर महीने एक दो बार ऐसे सेशन आते हैं कि I feel like this guy is definitely bad than me, worse than me. इसको तो मेरे को पेलना है.
लेना ही है. हाँ.
So when you get into that mindset, you're not thinking straight. Like you're not thinking from a logical point of view. So when emotions come into picture, that clouds your thinking brain. So then you make worse decisions. Yeah.
Nice. Cash games में offline जब खेलते हो, do you feel you get a lot more time to process these things better versus when you're playing online and you got to do it faster? Do you feel there's a gap between online and offline cash games?
Yeah, of course. I mean, gap तो है ही. Offline games तो are a completely different beast altogether. वहाँ पे ranges कुछ नहीं चलता. वहाँ पे it's more about, I mean, obviously you're playing certain kind of ranges, but then you also adjust a lot based on your
आपकी ranges को tight कर देते हो वहाँ?
हाँ, of course. I mean, in some spots, like early, like it very opponent dependent होता है. So let's say if you have position on some weak player, then you widen your ranges pre-flop.
Correct.
So that kind of stuff. And online में yeah, of course you get lesser time, but when you're playing so many hands, you've played, like मेरे को 5 साल हो गए, so when I've played so many hands, almost काफी सारी situations में देखी हुई हैं.
Like auto mode पे होता है.
Yeah, काफी सारा auto mode में होता है. Tough situations में कम ही आते हैं, क्योंकि बहुत सोचना पड़ा, टाइम बैंक खत्म हो गया.
Got it. Okay, सही है. वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग है. ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैं कैश गेम्स का पूरा आपसे मैंने ये पॉडकास्ट के बहाने 1 घंटे का सेशन ले लिया है मयंक का. so वो ही चीज हो रही है. Perfect. Coming to financial management, okay? How do you manage your money? How does your if a 100 rupee comes into you, or like no, you don't know 100 is going to come in. That's the best part. So how do you do your entire bankroll management of life and poker?
So life का मैंने ऐसे बना रखा है अपना 3 levels of money, which is low risk, medium risk, high risk. So low risk में हो गया तुम्हारा बैंक बैलेंस एंड FD RD, ठीक है. मीडियम रिस्क में हो गया बिकॉज I'm a cash game player and I'm fairly good, तो मेरे को उसको मैं पोकर बैंकरोल अपना मीडियम रिस्क में रखा है. एंड देन देयर विल बी सम अदर आइटम्स लाइक लेट्स से गोल्ड या डेट फंड्स, ठीक है. हाई रिस्क में हो गया योर म्यूचुअल फंड, स्टॉक्स, क्रिप्टो. So and every month what I do is I make sure कि the balance of that is correct. Let's say कि जैसे अब stocks बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गए and then वो उसका allocation बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया मेरे उसमें high risk वाले का net worth में, तो मैं थोड़ा stocks बेच देता हूँ या mutual funds बेच देता हूँ, so that वो balance बना रहे. And similarly या mid में ज़्यादा हो गया, मान लो 1 month अच्छा गया poker में, a lot of money in my medium risk, so I split some of it in low risk and then some high risk. I invest some of it in इस वाले में, उधर वाले में.
Nice. So you have अच्छा, तो आपका ये 3 levels ही है, तो उसके हिसाब से ही रहता है. तो if this month there's no income, your balance stays the same, whatever. If it's a break even month, so you know कि it stays this way, and then or else जो भी money medium में grow हुआ, you maintain a certain percentage, 40, 20, whatever, 40, 30, 30 example. So आपका वही percentage में खेलते रहते, वो इसमें jump होते रहता है.
Yes.
Nice. And very interesting. Okay, cool. Coming to this thing, one more question. Okay, short stacks. ये एक interesting. I've come across 2 theories. One is कि of course short stack नहीं खेलना है, and because you lose out on value and this that you etc. But short stack रहने के advantages भी मैंने पढ़े. If you're playing with short stacks, there are things like people don't bluff you. People are always scared of you jamming in this that, so उनके सब चीजें बंद हो जाती है. So is there ये, और इसका मुझे right answer मिला नहीं है. Is it good to be a short stack player or in a cash games? Or playing 100 bigs deep?
यार living बनाना है. I don't think making a living playing as a short stack player is possible, or at least if it's possible, it's incredibly hard. यार कैसे बनाओगे? सोचो तुम like 20 big blind लेके कितना develop करोगे कि तुम्हारा 100 big blind आए.
Correct.
Usually like if you win 1.5 big blind buy-ins a day as a cash game player, it's pretty good. ये हम usually target रखते हैं कि 1.5 buy-in आपने जीत लिया, तो आपको 1.5 buy-in के लिए आपको कितने बार develop लेना पड़ेगा.
Correct.
And तो it's just impossible. Like if you're playing for fun, ठीक है, short stack खेल लो, there is more gamble in
You
there.
make money and you run away, and वो जो करना है hit and
Yeah.
run करना है वो सब ठीक है, is what you're saying.
That's just like वो maybe short term में तुम्हें लगेगा हाँ you are able to do it today, but the law of variance catches up with you, and it's not like a sustainable way to make money in poker.
But isn't it also that कि आपके पास aces versus kings भी होने के chances कम हो जाते हैं कि आपके जब if your kings will get busted, you're going to lose only 20 blinds. Doesn't that also kind of this thing happen? So you lose also less कि नहीं, doesn't make sense only.
यार पोकर में तुम प्री फ्लॉप थोड़ा जीतते हो ज्यादा. मोस्टली यू विन बाय like outplaying the opponent post flop, right?
Sure.
So if you have fewer chips, your room for maneuverability is also lower.
Correct.
So you just need to hit hands, honestly. 20 बिग ब्लाइंड लेके तुम, जैसे टूर्नामेंट में होता है एमटीटी में, लास्ट में तुम जब 20 बिग ब्लाइंड स्टैक होता है, इट्स पुश और फोल्ड, या फिर फ्लॉप हिट हुआ ठीक है कंटिन्यू, नहीं हिट हुआ मे बी यू विल मेक सम क्रेजी ब्लफ्स इधर उधर, बट मोर ऑफन देन नॉट इट्स अबाउट व्हाट यू हिट ऑन द बोर्ड, राइट?
Right.
कैश गेम में भी 20 बिग ब्लाइंड स्टैक अगर तुम लेके खेलते हो तो यही होगा. 100 बिग ब्लाइंड डीप है, देन you can put the opponent to a test, right? You can be aggressive and then you can put him to a test for all his chips. तो ये SPR वाली बात है, जब SPR बढ़ गया डीप हो तो you know your edge
things can make more, yeah, you can maneuverability ज्यादा मिल जाती है. Absolutely. Nice. क्या लग रहा है, how's the poker scene now in India with GST coming in? And I know you don't play on international sites, you play on Indian sites only. Yes. So how is it feeling, and how have you seen the scene become different over the last few years of the Indian poker scene?
I think it's growing. Like अगर GST नहीं आता, GST was not in the picture, the industry was growing incredibly. More people coming into the, like I was on a trek and in Uttarakhand, and वहाँ पे मेरे को एक British या Australian, one of these places का बंदा मिला, and he was coming from ऋषिकेश. वहाँ पे कुछ टाइम योगा वोगा कर रहा था, तो बता रहा था, आई टोल्ड हिम कि मैं पोकर प्लेयर हूँ, तो वी स्टार्ट चैटिंग. ही वाज लाइक कि मेरे जिस होटल में मैं रुका था या गेस्ट हाउस में, वहाँ पे जो वेटर लोग थे, दे वर प्लेइंग ऑन द फोन्स. वो बोलते थे कि यू नो आज मैं इतना जीत गया, इतना हार गया, एंड ऑल दैट. सो इट्स काइंड ऑफ कैचिंग अप, आई थिंक, एवरीवेयर. सो द मार्केट वाज ग्रोइंग, एवरीबडी हैड, लाइक मोर पीपल हैड मोर मनी टू स्पेंड. तो इट वाज ऑन अ नाइस कर्व, just like most of our economy, India ki. But with GST, I'm not very bullish. Yeah, I'm not very optimistic. क्योंकि मुझे लग रहा है कि यार recreations को, if they deposit money, let's say 1,000 or 10,000 bucks, if they see 20,000 2,000 रुपए, whatever, 2,500 जो भी निकल गया, why would they invest their hard-earned money like that? Like they coming to gamble. Government को थोड़ा पैसा देने आ रहे हैं.
Correct.
So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, so maybe I'm just waiting and watching. Hopefully the sites take some steps, they take some of the hit, तभी industry survive कर पाएगी. Otherwise yeah, because recreational players के around ही game होते हैं, right?
Correct.
You can just battle with Rex, but it's just not like long term में, that's not how the industry survives.
Sure. So what are your plans? Do you intend to, like, if needed, play international, or second, like move abroad or something? Is that a part of your plan?
Yeah. Moving abroad is one thing that I've been thinking about.
Because, oh wow.
Not because of GST, but uske pehle se my wife and I were planning. I don't know the route right now. Different options hain, so we are considering all options. Let's see what happens. So like some of our friends had moved to Germany recently. They were saying it's pretty nice, but then I read कि Germany में poker scene is काफी regulated है, and it's not that great. So we'll see other places also, but that's one option.
Is this something you plan to do for life?
I don't think so.
Acha, okay.
Yeah.
So you want to just flow and just figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing poker till I'm enjoying it, and I'm not treating it as a game anymore, honestly. Like I'm just treating it as two things: as a source of income, a way to provide for my family, and secondly, like as a tool of self-improvement. Like काफी जिस दिन मेरे को ईगो आता है, उस दिन हार्श रियलिटी हिट हो जाती है. लाइक मेरे को क्रूअल रिमाइंडर दे देते हैं पोकर गॉड्स की, भाई तुम ज्यादा उछल रहे थे. Don't, why you bringing your ego into the picture? You're trying to outplay this opponent, but you know, play the right way instead of like getting emotional and attached to your ego. So yeah, these two things is what's driving me right now. And if let's say but I'm really itching for a new thing, whether it's a business, a startup, or some side thing, I don't know what. But yeah, something that I want to do.
Content creation में नहीं आ रहा है ना?
कंटेंट क्रिएशन में यार ट्राई किया था, लाइक बहुत मेहनत है यार, तुम लोग कैसे करते हो यार? रिस्पेक्ट टू यू गाइस.
Travel influencer. Yeah, you wanted to be a travel influencer, right?
I
Yeah.
wanted to be a travel writer,
Writer. Okay.
travel blogger. Because I write a lot, so that I wanted to do, but अब I don't know कोई कुछ पढ़ता भी है कि नहीं. I don't think anybody reads anymore.
Sure. Yeah. I'm planning a holiday, so I was doing a lot of YouTube vlogs, rather than reading. But I think I would read. Yeah. I think when you're going to an unknown place, you do kind of read.
Yeah.
But सही है. Before we end, मेरे को आपका एक रूटीन बता दो, डेली रूटीन क्या है? Because I was really impressed when you said कि मैं तो लाइट नहीं खेलता, मैं तो दिन में ग्राइंड करके खत्म करता हूँ.
Yeah.
So and you do a lot of reading also. So आपका एक डे का रूटीन क्या होता है? And something in parting, man, for everyone to crush cash games.
Okay. So I usually wake up around like 8.
Okay.
सबसे पहले अपनी बिल्लियों को खाना देता हूँ.
अच्छा.
मतलब मेरी बिल्लियाँ ही मुझे उठाती हैं आके म्याऊं म्याऊं करके.
अच्छा,
खाना दे
nice.
दो, कहाँ हो. Then या तो अगर मेरा वर्कआउट या तो मॉर्निंग में रहता है, इवनिंग में रहता है. लेट्स से इट्स इवनिंग वर्कआउट, तो मॉर्निंग में आई जस्ट टेक अ वॉक अराउंड द सोसाइटी, थोड़ा धूप वूप लेता हूँ. देन गेट टू ब्रेकफास्ट बनाया, खाया पिया. एक्सक्यूज मी.
Nice.
इसके बाद में फर्स्ट सेशन खेला. फर्स्ट सेशन के बाद ऑलमोस्ट लंच टाइम हो गया. थोड़ा
फर्स्ट सेशन इज व्हाट 10 o'clock?
नो, नॉट 10 o'clock. 8 o'clock के बाद में उठते उठते थोड़ा वॉक लेते लेते 11 बज जाता है. नाश्ता करने के बाद 11 साढ़े 11 बज जाता है. थोड़ा चिल किया, तो 11:30 12 बजे तक थोड़ा सेशन चालू किया अपना. आई प्ले 1.5 hour सेशन. उसके बाद
मिल जाता है, यू गेट इनफ एक्शन. हाँ,
या एक्शन मिल जाता है, because I play all the sides, so there's enough action across.
And what stakes do you play around?
I play up to 500 1K.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, just the two stakes, 250 500 and 500 1K.
Sure.
And तो फर्स्ट सेशन के बाद लंच वंच किया. देन उसके बाद मैं सेकंड सेशन खेला. देन इफ इट्स लाइक अगर इवनिंग हो गया, लंबा सेशन हो गया, देन आई गो आउट फॉर अ वर्कआउट. एंड समटाइम्स आई पुट इन अ थर्ड सेशन आफ्टर कमिंग बैक. देन डिनर. देन रात को थोड़ा चिल किया, रेस्ट किया, एंड देन सो गए. बहुत ही सिंपल लाइफ है. और अगर कभी सुबह वर्कआउट कर लिया तो फिर शाम को आई पुट एन एक्स्ट्रा सेशन, और आई गो फॉर अ स्नूकर session.
Nice.
Yeah. And as to crushing cash games, I would say don't take it for granted that because you have a good intuitive grasp of the game, you're going to crush it. That's definitely advantageous to have, but invest in time off the table and study off the table because everybody else is doing it. And just be very focused while you're playing a hand. So काफी सारे पोकर में answers they reveal themselves to you if you just spend a few extra seconds. And that's a mistake I have been also guilty of making, that sometimes I take snap decisions. So one of the things my mindset coach told me was कि अगर जब तुम्हें ये feel हो रहा है तो just take your hand off the mouse and just like keep it on your laps and just think. Time bank है किस लिए? सोचने के लिए है. So because if you, let's say your time bank runs out, the EV of that decision is 0. Like folding has 0 EV.
Correct.
It's better than making a wrong decision.
Sure. Nice. Perfect है. Do you ever make mistakes like फोन पे खेल लेते हो कभी ऐसे? Because मेरे को बताइए, ऐसा मैं 15 मिनट फ्री हुआ हूँ, फोन पे खेलने बैठ गया.
नहीं करता यार मैं.
Is that really wrong? Is that really wrong for a cash game player?
For a regular, if this is your profession, unless it's like there is like a very good spot, very good table running.
Okay.
Then you can do, but it's very different. Like there are different kinds of people. There are people I know who do that.
Sure.
But I don't treat poker as, like I said, मेरा थोड़ा concept poker से अलग है. I treat it with more like a business.
Sure.
तो उस हिसाब से खेलता हूँ मैं. And 15 मिनट के सेशन में तो मैं फोन पे, like there's a pre-game ritual that goes on. Like when I start playing poker, before my first session, there's a pre-game ritual warm-up I do. So if you're playing just for 15 minutes, you're not doing that, तो वो थोड़ा मिस हो जाता है. And
the warm-up is a meditation kind of thing?
Meditation, then you do some little bit of like gratitude, 1 minute ka, then
to the poker gods.
Yeah, to the poker gods, yes, for sure, that for providing you this opportunity to play.
Yeah.
And for the life you have. So.
Awesome, Mayank. Thank you so much for taking time out, man. And मतलब I think ये थोड़ा मेरे लिए coaching session ही हो गया पूरा. It was beautiful. I think that's the best part about it. Thank you for revealing also quite a bit about how you go about your things. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks, man. It was a pleasure being here, and yeah, talk to you soon.
Awesome, man.